Welcome everybody to the first episode of Hocusology. Yes, Hocusology, and I am your host, Wolfrey, aka Nightwolf. Hocusology is just pretty much just like a lot of other podcasts and all, touching base with conspiracy theories and trying to understand what is it that we live in, what is it that we're here to do, what is it that we need to do or trying to do, want to do, etc. So I'm going to touch grounds on a lot of things. No, I'm not one of the type of individuals that do the full blown 100% research on things. Normally, I just receive messages. Yes, there's a lot of things that I'll listen to as well that align with things that I've experienced and thoughts that I had, like, as far as extraterrestrials or the paranormal, fucking lizard people, or just the planet that we live on. And is it the center to everything that goes on around? Like, I was sitting there, naturally on social media looking at something, and there was one place in one country where the sun never sets on it, but it evolves around it. And before I seen that clip, I was just sitting there thinking, and something came to me like, we are literally in the sense of the universe where everything seems to evolve around us. There's a lot of things that we've experienced just on this planet alone, like witchcraft, different forms of magic, fucking sacrifices, and extraterrestrials, and spirits, demons, and angels, all types of shit. And it's just like, what is it really that we're set out to do? What is our calling? What is our grand design in being in this place? So I'm going to touch grounds with a lot of things. I'm going to try to get on to one topic, but the thing about me is unfortunately I start getting excited about a lot of shit and I just ramble on with a lot of things. So yes, this is something where I will ramble on for at least 25 minutes to a half an hour, unless as time passes, I get a guest, and you know, naturally we'll target more on one subject. But for now, that's exactly what it's going to be. Once a week, me talking a whole bunch of hot shit. Take it or leave it. Um, I'll just let you know a little bit about myself. I'm 38. I'm a father of three fantastic, great kids. I'm a truck driver, and I'm doing a podcast while I'm at work. They force us pretty much to get rest in the evenings, and I appreciate it. I'm up, so I'm like, fuck it, why not be able to just get things off of my chest, get things out of my head that I've been thinking about for a long time. And that's exactly what this podcast is going to be about. So for those who choose to listen, like I said, I highly appreciate it. Those who want to come and talk to me about whatever, I highly appreciate it as well. Those who just want to glimpse through and be like, here we go again with another individual who wants to get into conspiracy theories because that's the booming thing. Well, that part I'm going to let you know. I'm not one of them individuals trying to cake off of or ride on the fucking train of conspiracy theories. No, I've experienced things. I done seen things dealing with the paranormal and even extraterrestrial. And honestly, I've just got to a point where it was just like, why keep shut about things? That's the biggest issue in life in general, in families, relationships, and shit like that, is that everybody always remains shut. And it's like, there's so much out there, so many hidden locks and keys that people don't like opening up because they're afraid of what's behind that door. And I tell anybody, even with your inner demons, you don't keep the shit on a short leash because you're giving it leeway to be able to attack you. You leave it on a long leash for you to be able to build a relationship with it where it can still have its way of exploring the areas and also protecting you within the shit that's going on. So I know it's like, what does that have to do with what I was saying as far as being quiet? It's just the fact like everything just is opening up, and this is a great time to do it. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's just that. So definitely, it's going to definitely be a lot about extraterrestrials. There's going to even be times that I talk about the zombie apocalypse. I love it. That's one of my biggest things as far as any form of movies and shit like that goes. I love fucking zombie apocalyptic stuff. I love my animes. I love the extraterrestrials, even though they partially scared the shit out of me. But I still love all of it. All of this shit is spoken on. It's not like it's a false tale. All of these things do exist. Some of the people don't believe it. Some people do. But it's out there. And I'm just saying that much. And I'm a cutthroat individual. Like, with certain things that I do know, I'm going to let it be known clearly that it is definitely out there. And we're just going to go further into it. So, this is just a little introduction to Hocusology. Like I said, I'm your host, Woofrey. And today, my topic is going to be just dealing within yourself and your self-growth. So, I've been on a spiritual journey for about 2.5 years, and I've experienced a lot of things. I came across some really great people who have very good understanding in the spiritual realm as far as being able to grow and getting through the processes of certain things. And also within that, I started receiving messages of what to do within myself to be able to reconstruct myself and grow spiritually. I'm not fully all the way there, and I will let everybody know clearly I'm a spiritualist. I believe that we are all connected as one, and that's just it. There's nobody above us. It's just us. But the beginning process really is eliminating everything that you've learned, everything that you know yourself to be, deleting all of that shit about you, and literally starting off fresh, just like a newborn baby. You literally have to remove everything, all of the pain and suffering and everything that you went through in life, that somebody put you through, hell, even that you put through yourself. You have to remove all of that, because in a lot of situations, it wasn't your fault. But a lot of people take blame off of a lot of things that go on because that burden sits so hard with them. There's some people out there who's just born to be narcissists, where they just don't give a shit about anyone or anything but themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's dark energy, there's light energy. And within all of that is just the fact that still you have to remove everything in which you've learned. And it's hard because the main thing that we deal with is our emotions. And for you to be able to really grow within yourself, you have to be able to separate yourself from your emotions, which is also dealing with anything traumatic that you dealt with within your life. Having the forgiveness, which is also hard, because you don't only have to forgive them, but you have to forgive yourself for blaming yourself for being in them situations that you really had no control over. You also have to forgive these individuals because, I don't really stand by the saying of turn the left cheek when somebody does some shit to you, because if it's fucked up, it's fucked up. And honestly, that individual deserves some shit back to them. But that's when you also get into karma. You also get into negative energy and positive energy. As long as you project positive energy out there, naturally there'll be times where you're going to be tested on how damn positive you can be, and pretty much repel the negative energy away from you. So it's a hard ass journey. I'm not going to even lie. And I've gotten to a point of being able to accept individuals for who and how they are, whatever place that they're supposed to be within my life. Like I said, whether it's long term, short term, that's just where they're at, and that's just that. But more so, you being able to grow and build within yourself is a hell of a process. Because it's like you have to go back all the way from the beginning to whatever you can remember and visualize yourself there. Picture yourself now as you are now, going back to whichever age it started from. For me, I do the 5 times table. So I'm 38. So let's say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 until now. Whatever traumatic situation that I went through, I will visualize myself in them age groups, and whatever I went through, me walking to myself back during that time and grabbing myself by the hand, hugging myself, telling myself, look, I'm sorry I wasn't here in that moment to protect you, but I'm here now. I love you. Please forgive me. Let's move forward and build strength within ourselves. And honestly, I had a moment that I literally seen myself within them age groups walking down the block holding hands, and I had an emotional moment. I actually was at work because during that time I worked at the post office, and I just broke down and started crying. And I had people running to me asking me if I was okay or whatever, and I just said to them, I'm just happy. Like, I'm really happy that I've relieved that burden out of me, just off and out of me completely. And that was just it. Like, that was the first day within myself that I felt enlightenment. Like, my kids being here is a different form of light. Having them in my life, seeing the love that they have for me and the joy that they have when I'm around them and everything like that is always a blessing. It's always something that, if you need electrical shock therapy, it just brings you back to life. But to have life and give life to yourself is just another form of the love that your kids give you, but you're giving to yourself. So that was definitely a deep moment for me. After that, I pretty much got to the point where, dealing with like the different dimensions, like second 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D. I believe it goes all the way up to like 12 or 15, something like that. For me, I don't want to go too damn far. I believe once you get to the highest dimension within yourself, it's just like you lose all of your emotions. It's like you know all, you see all, you just know everything, and you just lose that part of you that gets to be expressive, and you see something that brings out the joy of your inner child and everything. I don't want to get that far. I just want to be able to get to the point where I could literally see an individual's energy and know how to deal with them if they ever come across me in a certain way. Like, we all have magnets towards in us, so we pull people towards us, we repel people towards us. And I mean, I don't have the most friendly look. I guess what people say, like, I just have an intimidating look. So naturally, when people look at me, they're just like, oh fuck, I don't know if I should cross the street or just hope and pray that this dude doesn't just pulverizes me. And when they get to talk to me, they're like, you know what, you're actually a pretty decent dude. You are highly spiritual. You have your head on your shoulders. Got a dark sense of humor. How does it all go together? I don't know, but I feel safe around you. And, it actually makes me feel good. So, like I said, it just goes into the work in which you do within yourself to be able to get back into the person who you truly are. I lived a dark path growing up. I lived a dark path for a very long time. I had a lot of hate inside of me for family, things that I've been through and stuff like that just made me say, you know what, I want to just fucking destroy this world. But something inside of me was just like, that's not who you are. And I always held on to that part of me. Regardless of how many times people mess me over or whatever, I always held on to that part of, I'm a person with heart. I'm a affectionate person that pretty much loves everybody, even though now I don't really want to deal with people, but I don't mind helping them out. I know it's like a push and pull type thing. Like, all right, either you want to deal with people or you don't. I don't. I just don't mind dealing with them. That's it. But yeah, it's just a lot of shit that I went through just made me into like a dark shadow, and I stayed in that place for a very long time, and I just got tired of it. I mean, when you project out so much negative energy, it just drains the shit out of you unless you constantly feed into it. So it's like as long as you're in that realm, you'll be alright. But when you know you're not really part of that realm, it just drains the hell out of you. So, you know, the first time I had to make a decision on constantly staying in that dark place or coming to light was when my first son was born. And it was literally a decision. Either you're going to continue doing what you're going to do, or you're going to be a father to this child. And I made a decision, like, I'm going to let go of everything that I've done and be a father to my child. Give him everything that I didn't experience in life. So that was definitely an experience that I needed to be able to even understand how love really works. So, I'm appreciative of him. I'm appreciative of, my youngest son being born, and me and him had a bond and have a bond where it's just like, it's inseparable. Yeah, I know there's some rough areas in it, but we're inseparable. And then, of course, naturally, my daughter, that's my other part. Like, she's the one that keeps me sane, even though my boys do too. She's the one that, for any man that lived a life of just fucking around and doing a lot of negative shit, when you have a daughter, naturally it's just like, all of that shit stops. Because now it's like, yo, I don't want my daughter sitting out there being somebody's slob piece or whatever, or even walking around being like a fucking hoe. Like, no. I gotta show her clearly how a man's supposed to treat her. I gotta show her how she needs to respect herself and her value. No difference than I would teach my boys. Like I taught my boys, my oldest one and my youngest one, when I talk with them, I let them know clearly, understand and know your value in life. Have the respect that you give to others come back to you. Never look behind you. There's no need to look behind you as long as you're living and walking in a righteous path. Other than that, it's different for boys compared to girls. So, I'm just blessed to have the kids that I have, and I will always love them. I don't give a shit what happens. Those are my world, they're my everything, and that's just that. But, it's just a lot still, and growing into being who I truly am. What am I destined to do? What am I destined to be in this world? I've reached and talked to a lot of people. I had a lot of people telling me about the impact that I made in their lives, and I'm highly appreciative of it. I appreciate the things of people that I came across, and they even helped me out throughout things, being able to see things and start awakening myself up. And also, definitely, I appreciate the times that I took some shrooms and it helped me see a lot of shit clearly. But that's another episode. That's pretty much just it for now. So this is going to be a short run. Like I said, it's just an introduction. I thank y'all for whoever is listening, and I will be talking to y'all next week. Have a good one.